Man. So it's been quite some time since I've posted any videos. I haven't touched my YouTube channel in months and months. The reason for that, for a lot of reasons. I didn't have the ability to. I was not in a good place. I wasn't in a good place emotionally. I wasn't in a good place physically. I had zero capability of holding myself together to do content of any kind. And I recognized that. Let me adjust this just a notch so it's a little bit more towards me. Over the months, a lot of things have changed. As you see, I'm starting to get my physique back. I'm working really hard, really diligent to get back to a good place in my health and in my physical prowess, if you will. Two, I've worked really hard at managing my grief, learning how to work with it rather than fight against it. I know that there's some amount of people out there that may or may not know, but I lost my wife in late January to cancer, and it devastated me. It wrecked me. Wrecked me mentally, wrecked me physically because of my mental state. I was already physically not the greatest because the whole situations around it drug me down. So I've been working through it. And I've come to a lot of realizations. I've been able to make peace with a lot of things. I've made peace with the fact that I know I'm never going to accept any line of reasoning why she's gone. I've learned to accept the fact that she is gone. And I've also learned that the best course of action for myself and for my children and for everyone involved is for me to move with my grief instead of standing still. Now, I know that the question's going to be, what do I mean by move with? And I'm still learning, right? I'm still learning this. A lot of what I mean by that is I'm learning to take the feelings that I have and the thoughts that I have and understand them and still move forward anyway. There's always going to be a degree of sadness that I'm going to have when I think of her. There's always going to be a degree of reminiscence and missing of her, obviously, when I think about her, or experience anything that reminds me of us and her and what we had. But I've learned to I don't want to say necessarily manage, but I've learned to accept those thoughts, those feelings, and accept them in a way that I understand that they're not going to ever go away. You know, I'm never going to not miss her. I'm never not going to wish things were different. I'm never not going to be sad when she's not there during really key moments in our kids' lives. And I'm not going to be able to just be okay with the fact that she's gone. And as crazy as it sounds, there's peace in that. There's peace in that because I'm able to take those thoughts, feelings, and experience them, but not allow them to drag me down. I experience them, I embrace them, and then I continue to move forward with my day. It's not easy. It's not simple. It's not something that you learn to do overnight, which is the reason why I've been in this hiatus, if you will, because I've been trying to figure out life. I'm still very much lost in the in-between. That's kind of been my catchphrase of this part of my life right now, is I'm in the in-between. I'm not the man that I was, but I'm not necessarily sure who I am or who I'm going to be. So there's like this middle place that I'm at right now, which is why I say I'm lost in the in-between. I'm experiencing life though, and I'm trying to make moves, make decisions, and do things that allow me to experience life and figure out a way to find me, if you will. When you lose a spouse, there's obviously the grief of losing the person you're with. That's first and foremost, right? But I think the biggest thing that I'm dealing with right now that I don't think ever really gets talked about, and I think it's because people are not open enough to talk about them. I'm like an open book, so unfortunately, like, I don't have a stopgap in being able to talk about how I'm feeling, thinking, or any of that. I think the thing that gets missed often is that you don't just miss the person that you lost, you also miss the person you were when you were with them. Because that person's gone. Your thoughts around things are different now. Like, the way you operate's different now. The things that you find entertaining are different. All the way down to TV shows, honestly. It's like, it's really, really crazy because the things that you would think matter the least actually matter most, because your whole perception around your reality shifts. Like, I can tell you right now, like, I've been going out and having fun and honestly kind of cutting loose, and that's not me. That's not me at all. Or that wasn't who I was. You know, it's very much a homebody, very much a, family, work, gym. That's it. Like, that was my thing. But I'm experiencing life now. I'm trying new things, going out and hanging out with new people and friends and trying to figure out this in between. TV shows, things that I used to do. I mean, is there some of it still there? I guess. But a lot of that I shared with her. And so it doesn't feel the same. Like I could tell you, like Big Bang Theory, okay? Really good example. I watched Big Bang Theory with her repetitively. That was one of her favorite shows to put on replay at times, and we watch it and watch it and watch it, so much so to where like I even have some of these episodes memorized. Watched it. But I don't turn it on anymore. I don't watch that show because it doesn't feel the same. There's a lot of habits that I had that I don't have anymore because they're not the same. They don't feel the same. They don't bring smiles to me because she was an integral part of those things. That's what made those experiences fun, exciting, unique. But those things aren't real anymore for me. Yeah, in this point in time. I mean, they're great memories, but they're not who I am anymore. I don't have that connection like I did. So it's a lot of figuring out myself, a lot of learning about who I am now and what I want to pursue now, if that makes sense. A lot of figuring out the ground that I stand on and what my priorities are. I can't tell you like in depth who I am because I don't know right now. There's times where I feel these emotions and I'm like kind of confused by them because I'm like, is this just part of me grieving or is this who I am now? Is this the way I'm going to feel forever or is this the feelings that I have currently? And I wish I had answers, but I don't. And then here's like probably the biggest thing that over the last 4 or 5 months that I've struggled with most, that I've kind of finally just come to a grip on and a realization on. I did harbor a lot of anger and a lot of resentment at the fact that that it was her time, that whether you believe in God or not, or higher powers or whatever, that she was called home. And I had a really hard time accepting the fact that I'm never going to understand it. And I think the biggest realization I've come up with is I was never going to understand it. If God himself were to come down and have a seat beside me and we were to talk about why he could give me a direct, very simplistic answer, and I still wouldn't be okay with it. Because she was the love of my life. So because of that, like, I've come to the understanding, the grip of, I'm not going to be okay with any of the reasoning. So the reasoning is no longer important because I know it doesn't matter. I'm not going to accept it anyway. So that's kind of, in a very ass backwards way, made me come to peace with certain things because I'm less demanding on somebody's got to answer to this and more around the answer doesn't matter because I wouldn't be satisfied anyway. That's just kind of where I've been at, though. I'm losing weight. hopefully you're able to tell in these videos in comparison from the last one to this one. I'm working really, really hard to get back into shape and get back to a healthy state. Really, really driven for it right now too. I've got a few key people that I owe a lot to. I have a few key people that have given me my confidence back, if you will, that have supported me, that have showed me things like about myself that I wasn't aware of, and has given me a sense of I can, which, I mean, if you look back 5-6 months ago, the I can thing, like, it didn't exist. But I'm getting there. I'm working really, really hard to get there. And those people, I couldn't thank them enough. I'd shout them out by name, but I don't want to embarrass them. If they see this video, they'll know who they are, and they'll know the massive impact that they've had on me, especially in the recent month. And so here we are, lost in the in-between, trying to figure it out, working very hard to get it figured out, though. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm going to keep putting out videos. I'm going to start trying to come back to YouTube and put out more content and kind of have this conversation with you, because I know some of you might not have experienced the same loss as me, but you've experienced loss. And loss can never be minimized. It could be your spouse, like me, the love of your life, like me, or it could be a grandparent, a parent, a brother, niece. It doesn't matter. No loss is anywhere minimized in comparison to somebody else's, because love is love. It doesn't change. You know, the way I loved my wife and the way you love that other person, whoever they may be, love is love. Doesn't matter. Pain is pain, and these are our new realities, right? So, stick around. I hope you tune in and watch the rest of my videos that I post. So like I said, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try to start doing maybe a weekly video and see how it goes from there. But it's okay to be lost in the in-between. If that's the only thing you get out of this, get that it's okay to be lost in the in-between, because you have to accept where you're at in order to do anything about it. It's very much like anything else in life. You have to accept your circumstances. You have to admit things to be able to get clarity to do what you got to do. So, here I am. I am lost in the in-between.